I reckon 70 to 80% of people are in relationships, marriages, with somebody that is not their type. Your spouse is not your type.
Then are women just like little passengers going along, helpless, have no say? If they like a guy and the guy acts like he likes her, she's got no agency in the situation, no power in the situation. Literally all the power is with him. He decides if they're going to be together.
Okay.
Was I just a random girl that flagged you down? Do you know what I mean?
No. Assalamu alaikum guys, what's going on? We are the X's and welcome back to the channel.
We're podcasting again. Woo! Been a long time.
Well, I podcast alone. Yeah, the we yeah. The team. It's a team channel.
Today we are talking about the taxicab theory. Taxicab theory came from Sex in the City, which is a show that I hope you've never seen, Sufyan.
Me? Sex in the City? I know Sarah Jessica Parker, isn't it?
Oh, well done. You don't normally know celebrity names.
And I know there's a blonde woman in it, or she got red hair, ginger
Bet
hair.
you know the blonde woman.
I couldn't tell you anything.
She was naughty, her.
I know, I feel like I only know.
So I hear.
I feel like I only know because you've told me that, oh, she's from Sex in the City. Amanda.
No.
Holden.
Samantha. What? Amanda Holden. Anyway, there's a character in it called Miranda. And she's a bit of a cynic when it comes to love.
I just noticed I got a rip here. Let's try not to focus on that.
Now everybody's going to focus on it.
Yeah.
There's a character called Miranda Hobbs, and she basically has this thing called the taxicab theory. And the taxicab theory is that a man in the dating game is like a taxicab. When his light is off, whatever you do to try and get this man to commit to you, you can flag him down, you can be the best looking, you can have the best everything. If he's not ready to commit and his light's off, you ain't going anywhere. You might cruise, go around the block.
You can get in a taxi.
Go for a little ice cream, but you're not making it down the aisle.
You can get in a taxi, but your destination is unknown.
But if the taxi cab light is on, then he's ready for commitment. He's decided, I'm ready. And the first person that flags that man down, woo-woo, the first person that gets in that cab is getting married to him. That's how the theory goes.
Such is the taxi cab theory.
This theory came about in the 2000s. The reason everybody's talking about it right now, and it's going a bit viral, is because people are getting really frustrated in the dating game. They're like, why am I dating this guy for 10 years? We end up breaking up because I'm like, listen, this guy's never going to marry me. And then the next month, he's married to someone else. And then other people swoop in, they're like, girl, don't you worry, it wasn't you. It's a taxi cab.
Oh, I hate this. I hate this side of things. Obviously, there has to be an angle, in which girls are like placating other women and saying, "Oh, don't worry, it's not him. No, it's not you.
It's not
him.
you. It's him.
Yeah, you're a 10, girl. You're a 10, and it's just that his light's not on right now." Although I do agree with this.
So Sufyan and we've been talking about this theory a lot because I was like, "Isn't that ridiculous? That idea?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "What?" He puts some credit to this theory, which blows my mind.
I put a lot of credit to this theory.
I cannot relate to this.
I can.
But we're going to get into it anyway.
Okay. Right. So in this video, we're going to discuss this taxicab theory. We're obviously, as always, going to put a Muslim scope on this. So we're not talking about the dating world per se. We're talking about the courting world or trying to find a spouse. It's the same,
trying to find a spouse. All human psychology, isn't it?
Human psychology, human attraction. It's all the same thing. Now, I think what we'll do, we'll start by discussing whether or not we think it's true. I do think it's kind of true, yeah. So we'll discuss whether we think it's true. We're also going to discuss the implications of whether if it is true, what does this mean? What does that mean for gender roles? And what does that mean for gender roles in terms of the dating game? And who has the power, basically? Who controls the dating market or the marriage market? Are men in control? Seeing as we are the taxi drivers.
Are women just helpless passengers?
Yeah. If I turn my light on, come on, next. Until then, it's like, nah, I'll see you later. And towards the end of the video, we're also going to discuss the most important aspect of this, or probably the biggest conversation that this brings up, which is if we just take the next person that comes once the light is on, what does that say about compatibility? Or what does that say about attraction? Or what does that say about us having a type or anybody having a type? Does anybody have a type?
Is it just about right time, right place?
Yeah.
Or is there more to it, basically?
Yeah.
Which is terrifying when you're married as well. This is not just for the single girls. If you're married, that made me look at Sufyan like, what? Are you saying I was just some random Bessie? Am I just a number to you?
Yeah. Well, it's brought up a lot of questions for us and we're going to get into it. Oh, sorry, before I get into this, let me just say, there is an opposing theory as well. There's a taxi cab theory for the women.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's the one for the men, which Amara nicely, kindly explained. Should I explain
Yeah.
the women one? The woman theory, the female theory, the taxi cab theory for girls. Yeah, it's probably like a little pink cab, a nice cute
I
one.
knew you were gonna say something more. I was like, could you say it nicer?
Yeah. Wow. The taxi cab theory for women is that women's taxi cab lights are on at all times.
For
okay?
one person, not for multiple people.
Even after marriage.
Typically.
Yeah.
No.
That light stays on. That's why when you have arguments, you're like, I'll replace you anyway.
We
but
want that one special person.
I'm joking. So the
know who
theory
it
is,
is, you know?
the theory is that women's lights stay on, and when they come across the right guy, they will get themselves ready.
Yeah, man.
Whereas a guy's light is not on if he's not ready. So at a certain point or a certain period or a certain age of a guy's life, he'll turn the light on and he'll be like, okay, I'm ready now. Everything before then is just experience and games and whatever. The woman's light apparently just stays on. It stays
For
on at
that
all
one
times.
special man.
Yeah. And she'll get herself ready on the spot for that guy because, you know,
She'll make it happen. She'll be like, listen,
Because
I'm gonna make it work.
because if there's one thing we know about human beings, it's that if you've got trauma and flaws and all of these complexes, when the right guy comes along, you can just switch them off like that. can't we?
You'll get yourself together because you got a biological clock ticking and you need to get it going, you know?
Okay, so if you've got a biological clock. Anyway, okay. Cool. Right. Let's discuss it.
Yeah.
I want to start off by just making this statement, and this is I want to like dangle this little trigger carrot thread for you guys, yeah, and we'll revisit it later. This is a statement from myself from the scientific catalogue of Sufyan X. That's me. I claim, here is my statement, that 70 to 80% of people are in relationships, marriages, with somebody that is not their type. Your spouse, not you, the one next to you, because you're the 20%. Your spouse, not you either. Stop taking it so personally. Your spouse is not your type, okay? When I say that, if you could write down your type on paper with no voices and your spouse not there and all, just in your heart of hearts, the person you would
That's so
describe
sad.
is not your spouse.
That's a very sad thought.
I don't think it's a sad thing. I think the whole concept of someone's type is nonsense. That's what it is. I think it's a good thing. Okay? And we're going to discuss this later in the video. So let's start.
Yeah.
The taxi cab theory. Do you think it's true?
I would have said no before I talked to a guy. Because I don't know how men think like that, but I would assume not, because as a woman, that's all I can speak as. But as a woman, you just want to find that person, and as soon as you're kind of done with like college, and especially even around uni times, a lot of people are like already like kind of looking in it.
Yeah.
You might not want to get married that second. You might be like, I'm not ready to get married yet, like I've got a lot of things to do, but you're looking in it. You want to secure that person that you're gonna be with. You're definitely like open for it, and you're definitely like looking around. Your 20s, especially as you get to your 30s, you're like looking around, and if that guy comes along and you are like, you've got a checklist as well as a girl, you kind of know like the really important things, and you'll meet loads of people that are not those things, and when you meet that person that just like, you know, calls out to you.
But this could be at 20 years old. Yeah?
Well, it doesn't usually happen that young, but maybe, you know what I mean? And
Maybe.
it doesn't mean you marry them at 20 years old, but you kind of bagsy them and you're like, that's the one. Like your light is like, that's the one. Then you put your light off because you're not polygamous.
Alhamdulillah.
Polygamous. The way you said it, the woman's taxi light cab is always on.
No,
You
no,
make
so
it sound
what-
like she's like, woo, woo, woo.
So
No.
obviously you find him, you turn your light
Do you know
off.
what I mean? You turn your light off. You want to turn that light off.
Then
You
you
want
match,
that.
Then you match each other because
And
you
you're,
actually
like,
find
so-
out that his light was off too.
No, but I mean, like, as a woman, you know how rare that person is that you're gonna come across. It's gonna tick all your things. So when you find him, you're like, alhamdulillah, found that person. Light off.
So you
the
agree
other
with
things in my life are harder to sort. It's harder to figure out your other things in life than the person. That's what it is. That's what I can't get my head around. How is a guy so certain that he's gonna find the right person when? Do you know what I mean? Like his sorting out his money, sorting out his body. Those are givens. You just follow a little formula
Okay,
and you got it.
wait.
There's no formula for like finding your one. Like when you find them, you want to grab him. You know.
All right. Let's. So you agree with the female taxi cab?
I don't understand how
Okay.
the male one could be
Listen,
true.
this.
I don't get it.
Okay, so this is what I think happens generally. Yeah, for the majority of people. I reckon you go to high school, you go to college, forget primary school, you're too young, yeah? You go to high school, you go to college, and socially, educationally, like, money doesn't mean anything. Everyone's broke at that point, yeah? You might come from a certain family, but I think like a normal broke college guy can attract a really rich family college girl because we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, you all like...
So everyone's on the same...
Just potentials.
Yeah, everyone's on the same level, basically. Taxi light is not even really a thing here, yeah? You go to university, same thing. Taxi light isn't really a thing. You're all on the same level, yeah? I think now, if you get with someone during this university spell, I think it's as good as like, okay, well, your taxi light was on because everyone's on the same.
You're marrying them for their potential, basically.
I think so.
And what they can be.
I think so. Then once you leave university, and you've got your degree and you're going out into the world, there's this little small window. Now let me do it from a male perspective. Yeah. There's this small window where your taxi light is on and you've got all of these dreams and you're like, yeah, I'll find my love and I'll find my career and I'll find my this and do you know what I mean? You've got your experience of females or women or social interaction throughout your uni years and college years, and you're thinking, okay, look, I've got my life ahead of me. You think you're going to change the world, right? If you don't get married in that little period there with your light on, majority of men turn the light off. Right? This is what I think happens. Majority of men turn the light off because all of a sudden, once you go into the real world, you realize that, whoa, I actually need to become something.
They get the fear.
Yeah, you compare yourself to other people. I don't really compare myself to other people, but you compare yourself to a version or a vision of a man that you may have. Maybe you've got someone on social that looks like that, or kind of celebrity, or someone that looks like that, or a family member, but you have this vision of yourself and you're not that guy yet.
Right. And
the vision of that guy, you want to, when you get married, you want to give the girl everything. You want to give your family everything. I don't want you to work a day of your life. I don't want, which you did. I don't want you to work a day of your life. I don't want my kids to want for anything. We can jump up, we can move, I need to be the guy, basically, yeah? So your taxi light goes off and you do this, finding myself, trying to find my dream. And you come out of uni at 20, 21 years old. Yeah? I'm talking about 22, 23, your light's off, right? What you still do in that time is you still talk to people, and you still like, obviously people like girls and girls like guys, and you like the attraction, and you still need your ego inflated.
You cruise them in your taxi.
It's not that. You still need you still need
company.
You still need to know that you're nice. You still need to know that even you're not your complete self, whatever you're putting out is viable. Yeah. And it's not that you're playing the game, because you might find someone in that place, but what you want is someone to, like you said, see you for your potential, not for what you are right now, because you know right now you're nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? Even though really it shouldn't be like that, but that's what it is. Then let's fast forward about maybe late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, depending on where you are. I think guys generally, you can put it down to body clock, grey hairs poking. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know. I point at my neck. I've not got grey hairs. And the light goes on, and they decide to take themselves seriously, life a bit more seriously. And when they're putting out that serious thing, they decide to take women more seriously as well. And they end up more often than not settling down in that period.
But the theory says that they take the first person that climbs in the taxi after the light's on. If they've put so much work into, I want to be this man, I'm not considering women because I want to be this man, considering women for marriage, I want to be this man, then they just take the first person that comes. How does that make any sense?
I don't think they take the first person that comes. I think everybody still has a stand. Look, I don't like to categorize people numerically, but I think they'll take anything above a 7. I don't mean a physical 7. I mean, is she pretty?
Their criteria.
Yeah. I think because I think at that point you take yourself seriously, and then someone comes along and she takes you seriously as well. And you're like, yeah, I'm a serious guy. Yeah, she's a serious girl. Yeah, we take each other seriously. Oh, actually, yeah, you feel good. Oh, we see each other. We're gonna go in this direction together. And before you know it, you're married.
Does he see himself as a 10 while he's going for a 7?
No, I think you come to a certain point in your life where, because your head's screwed on, you might not be there yet, but you think, okay, I'm moving in the right direction.
Right.
My head is serious now. Whereas prior to that, you're thinking, oh no, I've not got what I've do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're just panicking. I think generally that's what happens. Yeah. Tell me listen in the comments, guys.
Let us know if you agree with that theory.
It gets deeper.
As a man, I want to hear, as a man and as a woman, do you agree with it?
Do you know my dad says that, or the word what? If my sister,
what did your dad say?
Whoa, man, actually comes from the word wombed man. Did you know that? That's what a woman is, a wombed man. This is the look he does after.
Because he came from the womb.
I don't know the thinking behind it.
You never asked him to embellish.
I don't know.
I'm gonna ask him next time. I'll make him explain it.
I don't know the thinking behind it. Amara, you did ask a good question. You ask about, okay, well, what about settling for your type and blah, blah, and we'll come back to that, yeah? Because this is the whole type thing. There's a larger discussion at the end. First, let's say, if the taxi cab theory is true, what are the implications of this, baby girl?
Yeah, because if you're single as a woman, that means that when a guy comes and approaches you and is really eager, you're thinking there, it's because I'm fit his criteria and because he sees something so special in me. When this theory would mean that you're just in the right time at the right place and he's just like, you'll do. And then if you're married, was I just a random girl that flagged you down? Do you know what I mean?
No.
And not everybody can be in that 20-30%, Mr. Sufyan X with your scientific facts. Don't be like, oh, you're not in that thing. Like, what's the deal? Do you know what I mean?
I don't do
Like,
percentages, so it don't count.
But if you're married,
yeah.
and you think that you're like in love and stuff,
I feel like you can go too.
I just mean like, do you know what I mean? Like, as a woman, you've
woman's
really
man.
put thought into that man. Like, you've really chosen that man because of his qualities and his criteria. And although there are different paths you can go on, there's a whole predestination and how you choose and different life paths. I don't believe there's only one person in the whole world you could ever be with. I believe you make certain decisions in a certain path.
So do I.
But on this decision, on this path, make certain duas. You're on this path. I do believe there's only one guy at the end of that. And for mine, you were the guy at the end of those decisions in that path and those duas. But in your head, were there like 20 options?
Why are you assuming that you fall into the 70-80%?
Because not everybody can be in that 20-30%, bibs. And also, if the theory is true, then are women just like little passengers going along, helpless, have no say? If they like a guy and the guy acts like he likes her, she's got no way to make him commit. That's how it's going to sound. But I'm saying, like, she's got no agency in the situation, no power in the situation. Literally all the power is with him.
It's down to men.
He decides if they're going to be together.
Okay, look, here's the thing, yeah. Don't get triggered, anyone. I think that, firstly, no theory applies to everybody.
That's true.
Yeah? So this theory doesn't apply to everybody, obviously. Even if it only applies to 30% of people, it's still worth talking about.
Yeah.
So if you don't agree, just take yourself out of that percentage. You don't apply to it. Women are good at that. Anyway, so but I think there are reality in situations. Now, in the dating market outside of Islam, and obviously we are talking Islamically here, but outside of Islam, in the dating market, people will agree that women control the sexual market. Yeah? The reason that women control the sexual market is because the men want sex and women are the gatekeepers of the sex. If the woman says no, you don't get the sex. Yeah. I'm seen as this isn't an end goal of marriage. It's more of a, I want to get to a certain destination, which is being intimate with you.
Yeah.
The woman controls that market.
Yeah.
So in the marriage game, not that a man doesn't want marriage, but women want marriage. According to your viewpoint, from the 20 years old, the fact that according to the taxi cab theory, because women's lights are on all of the time from early, so they want marriage already.
Yeah.
So then,
not all women, but
not all men,
a lot of women.
In Islam, you do, don't
Yeah.
you?
I don't want to offend women that don't feel like that, but most women, it's
most women want commitment.
Yeah.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. Why a woman doesn't want to control the sexual market? You want to control the marriage market. You want to get that.
You don't know that world, man. That world's a crazy world.
I don't know that world. No, but I feel like all women, at the end of the day, would rather have sex with one person than marry one person. I don't feel like women have a craving to have.
I think they would as well.
Because I feel like women are way more emotional and they really like bond with the person that they have.
It's about the culture, though, isn't it? It's about what the culture dictates.
I think they're doing it to. They're trying to get the guy to like.
They might be.
You know, lock him down.
But once you can't lock him down,
or they've been hurt so much that they're.
No, but once you've not been able to lock it down, and then you've got one body, and then you've got two bodies, and then you've got three
bodies. That's the pain bit, innit? That's the heart bit.
Before you know, you have to. Oh well, now I'm two bodies down, and I'm not a virgin, and I'm not chaste anymore. So now, obviously, I still feel like I'm valuable. So I've got to justify that to myself, and then obviously that whole other conversation starts about there, innit? So anyway, but yeah, well, like I said, seeing as the women want marriage, then men control the marriage marketplace according to that theory. Whoever has the commodity is in charge of the market. If I want food, if I really, really want food, then the people who own the food, the farmers and that, they can put whatever price on the food, can't they? Because I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
They're in control of the market. If people really, really want sex, if I really want sex from the woman can say, okay, well, this is the cost of sex.
Yeah.
You got to take me here.
And you know what the cost of sex should be, girls? A wedding ring.
It should be a wedding ring. It should be a wedding ring. And then obviously, if women want marriage, then men control the marriage market and say, I only want my taxi lights.
That's why Islam's good, innit?
But that's not even that bad, though, is
But that's why Islam's good, man.
Yeah, no,
Because it flips it. You know what I mean? It says women might control the sexual market, men might control the marriage market. But you know what? As a woman, you control both markets.
that is true. To be fair, in Islam, if you want to do this properly, I keep adjusting my top because I'm trying to cover my little peephole.
You're bringing so much attention.
The next one I'm going to wear baggy.
Nobody would have known.
I wear baggy clothes next video. In Islam, obviously, the priority is on marriage. The priority is on not violating people. We don't do the dating game. You don't have to play, my lights on, my lights off. You just boom, let's have a serious conversation and go there. Well, you find out if his lights off because he ain't trying to pass go. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to play this waiting game for 2-3 years or whatever.
Yeah, man. Imagine being with somebody for like 10 years, wanting them to marry you.
No, but do you know what it is? I think the way society is structured, the way we're all free mixing, I'm not saying that I'm against universities and stuff like that, although I wouldn't really like my daughter to go to those kind of places. But the way the society is structured, you are going to go and want to seek out your own spouse. Why would you want someone else to pick a spouse for you?
Yeah.
The only reason you want someone to pick a spouse for is if you're a bit nervous.
No, but it's how far you go with it, isn't it? Before you can
So it's like I'm going to select my spouse myself, but then as soon as I find them, I'm like, it's her. No, you want to talk to her first for a bit, and then before you know it, I want to talk to him for a minute. No, did it? And then before you know it, you find out his light's not on, and you've been playing a waiting game for a year and a half.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Right, so let's come back to your other question, Amara, and the main question in this video. Yeah, firstly, let me say that the taxi cab theory for women, I think, is BS. I think, I said
you mean the women's version?
The woman's version is. I don't agree with that.
What, you don't agree that a woman is like
her
open to it and?
No, okay. Let me rephrase. I think that this taxi cab theory being strictly for men is rubbish. Okay. Because I have had women approach me prior to you saying, I'm getting on.
I'll kill them all.
You can kill them, bro. Say, I'm getting on. I'm nearly 30 or 30 at the time. We got married and said, look, I want to get married and have a baby.
But were they open to it all the time before too?
I don't know them.
Well then, the light might have always been on though, but they're just saying, listen, my light is really on right now. It's shining brighter than ever.
No, but the point is, so what they said, that my light is on right now.
But maybe it was always on.
No. And they wanted to get married. They wanted to get married. I want to marry someone now. I'm ready. So it came to me. I was like, nah, I'm okay, man. She was married the next week.
Oh, so that's up for anyone.
Well, is that not what a dating site is, kind of?
No, because I think
I'm available now. Go, who do you want?
Okay, but you don't have to take the first person that comes, you know?
No, I don't think we take that. Okay, let's get into this conversation, right? The question is what do you think of types? Is compatibility is incongruent with commitment? Am I saying that correct?
Yeah, this theory is saying basically that compatibility has no bearing on the commitment that may or may not happen at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Basically, your compatibility doesn't matter and doesn't play into whether a guy will commit to you.
Yeah. So since Sister Aisha was like playing along with this guy, she's getting strung along for a couple of years trying to find marriage, and all of a sudden he was like, nah, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And then he was married a week later, and she's like, well, what the hell? And the person that is married, the person that is married to Fatima from around the corner, she ain't attend like she ain't attend like Aisha was, like Sister Aisha. She ain't attend like that. She's not as smart. She's not from as good a family. She's not even practicing as much as Finger. This one used to do tahajjud at night, but
good for Sister Aisha dodging that bullet.
Sister Aisha, yeah. But so why did he get with Fatima?
Does that really happen though?
I think that does happen. Yeah, I think that does happen. Is a type really important? Now, I said at the start of this video that I think 70 to 80% of people are not with their type. Like their husbands, their wives are not really what they would put down on paper. And I'm not just saying it just to be triggering. I'm saying it because majority of people I've met during my working life, my professional life, or wherever I've gone, not one of those people they're open to other type of
true.
relationships, and they've all got a type that looks nothing like that. Oh, I love him, I love him, I love him. He looks nothing like your guy. You know what I mean? And when you say the girls talking amongst themselves and talking about, oh, he's nice, oh, they look nothing like your guy. Yeah. So I'm not saying it just as an empty statement. I'm saying it based on what I observe, and also based on the fact that not everybody can get with their type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everyone can get with their type, and obviously it brings into question. Oh, go on, what are you thinking?
I was just gonna diss you.
Go on, diss me.
I was gonna say I grew up with a JLS poster on my wall of, and I can remember his name. The guy that you say that people say you look like.
If anybody starts saying,
Marlon.
So there's one with big eyes and there's one that's tall and slim, and they say I'm one and not the other. One of them I think is a bit better looking than the other, so you better say the right one.
That's who that's who I had on my bedroom wall, Sophia, growing up. So you were exactly my type.
I don't believe you. Don't know who I had.
Singer too.
Don't know who I had on my bedroom wall.
Angelina Jolie.
We weren't allowed posters. Hold on. So whilst I'm saying that most people are not with their type, I don't mean this in a way to cause people to start saying, oh, well, am I your type?
Everybody's going to ask their spouse now,
am
I your type?
Everyone may ask them, and look, your spouse, unless there's like some like emotionally detached person, is probably going to say yes anyway, yeah, because that's the way that you stay out of trouble, innit? Guys and women, just say yeah, innit? You're allowed to lie in that kind of like relationship where little white lies, innit? Just say yeah. But
just say yeah.
Just say yeah, man.
Just say yeah.
Just say yeah. Say yes, yes, yeah. Of course, obviously. What?
That's a good T-shirt.
Yeah. Smash your telly. The point that I'm making is that I don't think that this type thing matters at all, and I don't think it's a real thing. Like, I don't even think people could tell you why their type is their type. I think they're just arbitrary statements, and I think that if you go back, I like to take everything back to Prophet's time, back to simpler times, back to when Islam was deemed Islam and everything was as it's meant to be. Yeah. I don't think that was even a factor. I think that this type thing, obviously, now are we talking physical type? Are we talking intellectual type?
Probably everything, isn't it?
Yeah. But a lot of people bring it down at least to a physical.
Yeah,
at
definitely.
Least
it's one of the first things people think about.
Yeah,
isn't
and
it?
I think that's a byproduct of this world.
Society
right now.
as well.
Yeah, it's a societal issue because
society.
I can't do it. We're talking Instagram filters. We're talking the way that film and media has come up.
It tells you what it tells you to like and desire. You know?
Yeah. And I think that's just a byproduct of that. That we say, oh, he's not my type. Like everyone likes Chris Brown. Like, oh yeah, Chris Brown's my type. Or whatever it is, whatever your version is. It's like, oh yeah, everyone loves him. Yeah, I love him too. Look at him doing these sexy moves. Yeah, he's my type. And then you get with a short white guy, and they're like, oh, he's like the exact opposite to Chris Brown. I don't think that it's actually a factor that people really hold as important in a relationship. I don't think it's important at all. What I think is important is companionship.
I think you're right. I think you're right about back in the Prophet's time, because people didn't have so much experience of different people. I think these days people accumulate so much experience with different people before they get to the marriage bit that they're so particular, and I don't even mean fussy in a bad way. I mean, but they've got so much information now to deal with and process that they're like, okay, I like that, I don't like that, I like that, I don't like that. Whereas if you're just in a forest and you just meet one woman, she's your best woman, you're like, wow, that's what a woman is.
I agree a bit. I don't obviously before Islam, in the time of Jahiliyyah, people were just having sex with everybody. Marriage was a thing, but it wasn't, you could say, oh, I don't like you anymore, and just move on to the next. And there were still women of the night, and these things were like still things. So people definitely did have experience of other women. So I'm not trying to say that, but there were more
marriages that came together that were just like,
now I can go and watch every single complexion, every single size of body feature doing this and this and that, and go to the gym and probably see a level of porn or a level of nudity which I could never ever be exposed to.
He admits it. We finally got him to admit it.
I said I could go to the gym, but I don't go to those gyms. I go to the halal gyms like JD.
See,
listen,
finally, if anybody's been following my YouTube journey for the last 2 years,
there are sisters,
I've got a problem with mixed gyms.
There are sisters on this channel that have approached us in the gym.
I said,
we watch your channel.
I'm not talking about them.
What do you see me doing? Eyes down.
Keep an eye on him, ladies.
Keep an eye on me.
Take little sneaky
Keep an eye on me,
videos.
huh?
Take little sneaky
Don't look
videos.
at too hard though, because sometimes I look good when I'm.
I don't zoom in on your videos. Don't take videos of my husband, actually.
Understand?
No, don't do that.
She's like, I was trying to catch him out, but now,
His muscles.
now he's caught me.
He's my type.
Astaghfirullah. I think that the people would always, with the Prophet's time, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you'd be encouraged to marry young. Yeah. If you see someone that you like and you can look after them and everything's fine, get married as young as possible. I think now we've got this thing where we go to uni and you go to work and you think about this in later life where you
prioritize other things being established before that, whereas being married was one of the earlier things established because it protects you against so many other things, like getting jiggy with it too much.
It does, yeah. And sometimes I think that I don't know. I don't think maybe it's society, but sometimes I wish I got married young, just to me,
or to someone random.
No, I couldn't marry you young because that would bring a whole. Okay,
babes, we're only 6 years apart. It's okay. After 18, I was alive. I was here. I'm legal. I would have been 18. You would have been 24. Amazing.
Yeah, no.
That would have been so great, right? Right?
I don't know. Let's not get sidetracked. I'm getting sidetracked. I think the most important factor, and I think the reason why people say that a guy will just pick anybody at that point, is because firstly, let's say I want a practicing woman.
Yeah.
She has to be educated. She has to work out, go to the gym. She has to come from a good family, a respectable family. Those are kind of the main things. How many people fall into that category? Yeah, and let's say that I have to be attracted to her. Now, if you go and look at a guy, if you ask a guy how many girls you find attractive, how many women will you find attractive?
Yeah, and
they'll look so different to each other. Yeah, unless you like one of those weirdos got a very specific type. Like I just like 5'7", blue eyes, blonde hair, slim thing. Like obviously when that your type is because of someone else you've been with or some weird. Anyway, Freudian issues or something like that, who knows, isn't it?
Obsessed with a particular look.
Yeah.
I agree that the type thing is silly. I think there can be so many things that are like attractive.
So then how many people fall into that bracket? And I think that the series, and I'm not talking every now and then someone will fall into it. I think a lot of people fall into that bracket, and when the guy's ready to settle down and take himself seriously, a lot of people could satisfy that role.
So do you
not
think
anybody, but a lot of people could.
So do you think out of that, so say there's like 20 people that satisfy that role at that time in his life, or say he's really sociable and 20 people he knows could have fit that category, you genuinely think it's whoever's available at the time that he's...
Well, if 20 people can fit the category and he's got 20 options, he prioritizes the first person that he felt close to. Maybe out of those 20 people he's got a preference. I don't know, it depends. I just think that what's important is companionship. I think not compatibility is important, and you do want someone like I said, anyone above a 7 in your 7 at intellect and 7 or maybe you'll get like a 10 intellect but 7 physical, or a 10 physical but 7, whatever that is. I think that when people just fall around here and men are ready for commitment, they'll commit to someone. But I do think that within that you can find your 10, but at the same time, is it not the case that anybody who settles down at any point in their life is only picking out of what's in front of them anyway? You didn't go travel the world and travel every angle of the world.
I came from Scotland, Sufyan.
No, you did. No,
I went from Scotland to York to Manchester. I travelled the country.
I travelled
to find you.
Manchester. I astral projected around the world, Muraqaba, and came back for you.
Oh my gosh, that's so romantic.
I actually did astral project as a child. If you don't believe me, I'll tell you the story one time. Am I as up?
Watch nobody listen to us now.
I know. Normally when Amaya's up, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute at the end. And then it's like the video.
Everybody's like, I didn't listen to anything you said after Amaya.
Alhamdulillah that Amaya's up and she's so cute, aren't you? Do you want to say hi? You can talk now. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, go on.
I know everybody thinks their kid's got the cutest voice, but we really think she's got the cutest voice. Hello. Okay, all finished now. Okay, you eat your biscuit. Good girl. You might eat a biscuit. Before I met you, there were other guys, but nobody was a 10. A 10 not being, I don't mean a perfect guy. I mean a 10 being hit all the things that were on my criteria. Then when I met you, you like exceeded my criteria, as in I felt like my criteria was actually quite unreasonable. It's funny. I can't take it seriously when you do funny for me. My criteria was like, my family would say it was unreasonable. Like, I wanted somebody that like, this isn't unreasonable, it made me laugh so much, and that I looked at and was always attracted to, and that like was so intelligent and never bored me when they talked, basically, and didn't do annoying things, but I found like so many things annoying. And then when I met you, nothing annoyed me about you, and everything you said was just so interesting to me all the time. I never got bored talking to you. I was never like, do you know what I mean? Like, no time with you was ever like not enough. Yeah, hello. I'm saying these were things that, like, you know, you were a 10. You were a 10. You weren't just somebody that came along that didn't meet everything. Like, you were a 10 to me. So it's mad to me to think that people go for someone that isn't everything.
Well, in my journey, I would say that at the time when I met you, my taxi light was off. Yeah,
it was off.
So I fall into the female category. Don't try and emasculate me. Okay.
I remember you would say a lot, I want to be this though. I want to be this when I'm married.
Yeah. I felt like I just woke up when I was 28 years old, and then started trying to take myself seriously. And I thought, I'm going to take myself seriously and just focus on a few things. And my light came off. My light turned off. I was like, I'm not interested in women.
Yeah.
Started talking to you. You were interesting. And then when I saw you and saw your vibe and met you in person, it's like my world collapsed. Yeah, alhamdulillah. And I was like, okay, you need to do whatever you can, because something's happening here.
So you fell into the woman one.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
You made it happen.
That's what I say. Don't emasculate. No, it's not that. It's not that I made it happen. Yeah. It's that I felt like whatever was happening was fighting against what I wanted, and that I kind of surrendered to it instead.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was the will of Allah. Yeah, but I surrendered to it.
You did have a lot of conflict in that process.
I had loads of conflict because I'd made my mind up not to do something, and then gave in to something else. Yeah. So, in this theory, I would say that you fall into, you're perfect for me, but this isn't like a soppy video to say anything about, oh, look at them two, they're so cute, and that's not the point. The point is that I still think that I think that, okay, maybe I should rephrase it. I think most people 5 years ago, the type that they write down will not be the woman that they're with now or the man that they're with now. I think that
that's what's hopeful about your outlook, because you're not saying 70 to 80% of people out there that are in relationships are unhappy.
No, not unhappy.
You're saying they didn't go for their type, but you're saying the type doesn't matter, and that's the thing about it.
The fact that they didn't go for the type, you don't really want to give it to me? Thank you. The fact that they didn't go for the type and they're not with their type is indicative of the fact it perfectly obviously says that the type is not important. So this thing about,
that's hopeful though.
Well, I think it's hopeful in general that people should always focus on. That's enough of that. I don't even like it. That people should focus on. Actually, I really.
Daddy loves your baby biscuits.
It's all right. I never lied to my daughter. I don't like it. It's all right though. It was a bit sweet.
Might eat it.
I think people at all times should try to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
At all times. You should always try to be in the best physical condition. You might not be able to be, but you should also make an effort to go there. You should be trying to make yourself the best version of themselves. If you've got issues, work on them.
Yeah.
If you got body things, work on them. If you got character flaws, work on them. If you're not smart enough, or you feel like you should be smarter, then read more, do more, learn more. We should be trying to perfect ourselves. And I think once you do that, you fit so many more people's categories than you know.
Yeah.
And you don't try and compete with other women. Compete with yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be the best version of yourself. You're better than you were yesterday. And men don't really care to. I genuinely don't think men don't really care what you look like, as in, well, she's a 7, she's in it. I don't think men think like that.
Yeah.
Although in a sexual market they will. And I think that people get confused because we take a lot of our information from young boys on Instagram, and look, she got so many likes in this beauty world and single people. But the Muslim man or the Muslim world, I'm telling you, guys don't really think like that. I just don't think, and I think the evidence supports that.
I think what's nice as well about when we talked about it is I was saying, we were talking about what a 10 is, and I was saying, but nobody's a real 10. Like, even if you married, like, even if you wanted Angelina Jolie, you married Angelina Jolie. Even Angelina Jolie won't be a 10 of what you thought she was in her head, what you thought she is in your head. But you were saying to me, no, a 10 doesn't mean that you're perfect.
No.
A 10 is just that you hit these certain areas well.
Yeah.
And I thought that's really nice. That means that anybody can be a 10, really. If you hit certain areas, you can be a 10 to your husband.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I was like, okay, so I can be a 10.
That's what I think it is.
That's great.
I think everybody, you can't be you're not going to reach Jannah level because that only exists in Jannah.
Yeah.
But you can be a 10 to your husband. Although you're not really his type.
But type doesn't matter.
Because his type's not a real thing. His type is a societal construct, which he used to say when I was young, oh, this is my type, this is my type. But when the SHI hits the fan, it's not important. I think, look, there's a thing where feminists who are always saying, you don't compromise, you don't do this, you don't do that, are always the ones, the people telling people what they shouldn't do in relationships are always not in relationships.
Yeah, that's true.
The people with the loudest voices want whatever they're complaining about most of the time. Yeah. And I think this thing about type is a single man's thing. Yeah. She's my type. Oh no, women now. Yeah, you have to be like this. You have to be like that. You're single, bro. Shut up. You're not in a relationship. Yeah. And you might have this standard of something that I need a woman that does 10. And although I do think that you shouldn't compromise what you want,
10.
I think way more people hit that.
Yeah.
And I think that the guy, really, when you chat to the guy 5 years on, you say, oh, all of these things, they'll be like, yeah, half of them weren't even important.
That's hopeful. That's nice.
Half of them weren't important. They were just a single man making an unrealistic list of things that he knew no one would ever. He knew he wouldn't hit. Yeah. Let's you wrap up the video because
I'm done. Right.
We've gone on a bit long. What do you think of the taxi cab theory? Is it real? Can you relate?
Yeah. Do you relate to the taxi cab theory? Do you think it's true? And if you're married, how did you get your spouse? How did that go?
For all of the women and the men, married people in the comments, don't worry. Although your husband is not your type, he is your type, really. Right? I feel like I'll just open up of kind of.
No, I think your message is really positive. I think your perspective is very positive. You're saying basically, yeah, guys are open to a lot of different people because there's a lot of different people that you can settle down with and be really happy, and that's kind of really nice to think that. To think that if you're into a guy, yeah, you might not be who he fantasized about as a child, but you can be just as much as perfect to him.
I think you are what you are everything he wants now. That's what I think.
That's really nice.
I think you're everything he wants now, and even if the world wants him to think about this physical image of blah 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 blah, it doesn't matter.
You better keep the mixed gym bit in because I want that as evidence.
Because
that was a beautiful.
You're everything he wants now. Obviously, this opens up many other conversations which we will be having very, very soon. Soulmates. Are soulmates really a thing? Predestination? Are you destined?
Is there one person destined for you?
I don't think there is.
I like my theory about this. I'm not going to go into it now. I like my theory, but I'm scared to talk about it because I don't want anybody to ruin it for me. I don't want anybody to say,
don't be scared.
Oh, that's rubbish, because I like how I think about predestination and destiny and soulmates.
Here's my word of advice.
So Sufyan thinks we should talk about it. I don't want nobody ruining it.
If it's halal, say it and say it with your chest. Yeah, that's my theory. I never say anything haram in my video. I never give any viewpoints that haram. Say it with your chest because it's fine. We want to change your mind and provoke thought.
Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, and we'll be back soon.
And make sure you share the video with the person that you like to show them that they don't need their type. You are their type.
You are their type. You are their type. In a way. In the most important way, you're their type. Even if you're not, which you are. Maya, do you want to say bye?
Bye.
Do you want to come here and say bye? Come here. Come here, say it to the camera.
Bye.
Say good night.
Night.
Can you say I love you?
I love you.
Every night she says that to her bed. She goes, night, I love you.
Can you wave? Can you wave?
Bye.
Yeah, you filthy.
He got biscuit everywhere.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.